positions throughout the 1950s all the way on up to the 1970s. It was quotes like these and men like that and people in general from that time period that caused the stigma that led to women in STEM fields feeling like they aren't able to pursue that interest in STEM. It gives them a bad reputation and it leads to many different issues that have led now to the lack of women in STEM fields. Women are often underrepresented due to a history of other women before them taking on different majors and different interests to follow the Midwestern culture, and it is now our job to encourage girls from an early stage in education to pursue their own interest in STEM fields.
There's a growing number in schools for STEM fields, and there's a desire to join from many women, including here. But there's a lack of representation and encouragement, and this is what prevents this.
Diving right into our issue, we will now take a look at what this problem is, what are some things that have caused it, and how we can prevent this issue in the future. To start with, Sheridan is going to talk about what this issue is.
All right, so this issue is not only a general issue over the population, but is an issue specifically here at NDSU. For example, the October 2nd, 2014 issue of The Spectrum, our local newspaper here, states that only 11% of engineer majors here on campus are females. This is a trend that hasn't changed much over the years. It's been pretty constant, and that is a constant trend that has been noticed by many members of the engineering community, including Michaela Hadley. Michaela is the SWE president here on campus, and she stated once, "I think women's skill sets have been overlooked for as long as time." And this just goes to show that a prominent figure in the STEM community here on campus that represents women notices that this is an issue and wants it to be identified and wants to do something about it. She not only proves this by speaking out on it, as she did in this interview, but she also is the president of SWE and likes to make a lot of changes. They do a lot of different things here on campus to get women involved in STEM fields, and they do different things with young children to get this issue out and to try to fix it. They see, hear, and notice all of the different little details. They hear the comments like women aren't for engineering, math is for boys, things like that. They notice the awkward stares as a girl walks into an engineering classroom full of guys and she just awkwardly sits down. They notice that. And they see the uncomfortableness and like the uneven numbers of women in STEM fields around campus and when they're younger growing up. They see all of that. And this creates an aura, I guess, of sorts that leads to a bad stigma surrounding women in STEM fields. And that really hinders their interest in STEM moving forward. That being said, you see that gaining females in the engineering field is a struggle, not just generally, but specifically here at NDSU. Kathryn is now going to tell us more about some of the causes that this ever-growing problem has stemmed from.
In the Midwest, women are often considered to be unfit for STEM fields. We all know the stereotypical Midwestern family with the boys out in the fields doing men's work and the women in the house doing women's work. Amy Mayer states in a news broadcast from Kansas City University Radio that a woman never discussed it. She just accepted that she'd find a different path. Even though the stigma against women in higher education has all but vanished, the residual effects still remain. Girls are expected to pursue careers in education, nursing, and social sciences, to name a few, regardless of their skill in the classroom. If a boy, for example, excelled at math or science,